So, Emily Kennedy is the last act in this section. Let's see how they do. Easy.
Myself. My name's Emily. I'm from the east coast of Canada. I'm a ginger, as you've probably noticed, or as my people like to be called, an orange Canadian. And my mom died. Now, you probably don't think that there's much funny about that, and you'd be right, because there's not. But if I've learned anything, it's that you have to make the most out of any situation. So like, one of my new favorite things to do now is when I run into someone that I haven't seen in a long time and they don't know. Because I can be a bit of a dick, so I often have this like same debate in my head where I'm like, should I let them down gently like a decent human being, or be an ass? And more often than I'd like to admit, the latter wins. So if I'm like catching up with someone, and they'll be like, oh hey Emily, what's your mom up to? And I'll be like, actually, she's feeling a little under these days. You know, like 6 feet under. They'll be like, what's going on with your mom? And I'll be like, well, she's feeling a little tired, so she took a nap. Permanently. Well, in all seriousness, there's a lot going on when something like that happens. And interestingly enough, I learned during the funeral planning process that planning a funeral is a lot like planning a wedding. It's like, you have to make sure that you've invited the right people, and you have to make sure that certain people aren't sitting next to each other because you don't want like any deeply buried family drama to surface during the service. And then of course you don't want your drunk aunt saying anything stupid. But actually one of the worst parts of that whole process leading up to the funeral happened the night before when I got struck with a mean case of food poisoning, because that was really shitty. My birthday actually fell on the day after my mom's, and she always used to like to remind me about how I ruined her birthday that year. Like, she'd always bring up about how she was at a restaurant, and like she was waiting for a cake to come out, but then her water broke, and instead of a chocolate cake, she got me. She was a bit weird, a little quirky, which I loved about her. Hated the fact that I have tattoos. Would never discourage me getting them. But one time she told me that if I got any more, that I'd become a man. Like, somehow getting a little more ink permanently etched into my body would like somehow push a penis out of me. Like, I'm a fairly outdoorsy person, so I've often thought about how great it would be to have a penis, if not just to be able to pee more easily when I'm in the woods. So naturally, one of the first things that I did once I got, or after she passed away, was I went out and got another tattoo. But it appears as though she lied about that because it's been 2 years and still just but my mom actually was the best mom ever, and I know everyone says that about their mom. But like, she would do things that like I'm pretty sure no other parent would do. Like every year on the first day of school, my brother would go out into our backyard and find the biggest rock possible. And he'd put it in the bottom of my backpack, and he'd like cover it with all of my books and supplies. And then I'd take off to school, and when I came home, I'd complain that my back was really sore, which for some reason I never caught on to this, but my mom did, and she thought, well, we need to put a stop to this. So one day, she sends my brother off to school unsuspectingly, and it comes to lunchtime, and he's all excited, and he opens up his lunch, only to find a container filled with nothing but little rocks, and a single note that says, be nice to your sister. Love, Mom. Smiley face.